We're going to start the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. 1 second, please, and let me get my flag up here. Hold on. Here we go. Ready? Pledge allegiance to the flag
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic
for which stands one nation under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all.
for all.
Jesse, it's all yours.
The notice requirements of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been met by transmitting the notice of the regular meeting to the Commissioner's official newspaper on February 9th, 2023, posting the notice where required, and filing a copy of the notice with the Commission Clerk. The Deer Lake Commission meeting will be audio and videotaped and will be shown on APTV, Optimum 77, and throughout most of Monmouth County on FiOS 28. I'm going to take the roll call. Allenhurst?
Present, sister.
Asbury Park?
Yes,
Deal? Interlaken? Did Steve make it?
no, I think Don said he's not able to come.
Okay. Lock Arbor?
Here.
Neptune? And Ocean.
Here.
Tonight we have resolution, I forgot to put a number there. A resolution to approve the minutes of the regular meeting from September 21st, 2023. Deal and Neptune do not vote. Someone please offer the minutes to be adopted.
Asbury Park, I'll offer.
Thank you. Second?
Ocean.
Segundo.
Or deal. Allenhurst gets it. Allenhurst gets it.
Yeah, look at it.
Segundo.
So we're moving to approve the minutes of the September 21st, 2023 meeting. Allenhurst?
Yes.
Asbury Park?
Yes,
Lock Arbor?
Yes.
And Ocean.
Yes.
Bruce, did you get the treasurer's report?
Yes, I got the treasurer's report. I will read it now if you'd like.
Thank you very much.
Is it my time to read?
It's your time.
Ah. So we have the balance on hand, total on deposit from the previous month, $64,342.35. We had receipts totaling $31,726.74. Total available funds, $96,069.09. We had disbursements totaling $17,407.34, which included the disbursements on the 319 grant. Our total balance then is $78,661.75 after the disbursements. And that leaves our total on deposit $78,661.75.
Perfect. Someone please offer to approve the treasurer's report and pay bills.
So moved. Ocean.
Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you. Allenhurst?
Yes.
Asbury Park?
yes,
Lock Arbor?
Yes.
And Ocean.
Yes.
It's so weird not to call all the names. Okay, Don?
Okay, we got all that.
We're done with that.
Okay.
The old
Grant, the 2017 grant, the final piece is going to be put in next week, Bruce. It's going to be put in. Let me see if I get the 1 second. I just want to see this email. It's being installed on 1024 in Allenhurst. That's near your house. That's where the Filtera box will be going, and it's basically a tree box, and right by the gazebo. So that's the 24. They had to coordinate that with the town because of Halloween schedule. I guess you guys have a big celebration in the park there. So,
Well, we were planning on using the tree box for Halloween prop.
I think
There-
it
there's
sounds
a-
that way.
there's
It'll
a-
be there.
It's a plan.
Maybe some goblins will come out of it or something.
We're going to use it for a haunted tree box. We're going to have ghosts coming out of the tree box. Yeah.
But that's it for that particular grant. But we have to, Jesse, to talk to Ricky, we got to get moving on submittal of that last group gets $150,000 on the table or more.
Yeah.
For the state, and Chris is hopefully going to work on that too. Okay. But that's gonna have to be done in the next 2 weeks to get that out.
Yeah.
Okay, shoreline protection, I have no update on that. Gina, do you have anything?
I don't.
No.
Nope.
And I know it seems like DEP is doing a lot of things. They're working, they're battling people on the beach, but they're not filing any claims against people along the lake. So I was still scratching my head on that one.
I'm assuming we're since we haven't heard, and they said Robert Clark said he would contact us once he had his team in place, that they're still training because they needed to hire new people to replace those who retired or left during the pandemic, and training. This is an assumption I'm making because since we haven't heard from them, that was the last word, was that once he had everyone in place and trained, they would contact us for a meeting.
They got a lot on their hands now with all the flooding and all of it down the shore, right? There's a lot of questions, a lot of people asking questions. So, carp remediation, goose remediation, no updates on that other than we did send out the bills. Did we, Jesse, on it?
I haven't sent out the bills, but we didn't get the report.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
No.
Okay, I'll have to call on that. I'll call her on that. Call on report.
You want me to follow through on that with her, Don?
That's okay. I'm gonna send her a note. I'll CC you on it. Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. I'll do it after the meeting. The restoration of the 4 lakes. I believe there were some soil samples being done on one of the lakes the other day. Somebody sent me pictures. It looked like Terrace Pond. And I know the town's doing that. I don't know any status of those restorations being done, at least with back section of Terrace Pond. We're going to do part of that with our grant money, but the town's also doing some, and Fireman's Pond is the main focus, I believe.
I'm sorry, could I back up a minute to the goose
Sure.
Jesse, have those bills been sent out to the town?
I just said the bills were not sent out.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
No,
You're
not a problem.
You're very small in the pictures.
That's okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
A DEP grant, stormwater management grant that we have for Seaview Mall. These guys are still working at, and I'm hoping we get in front of the DEP quick with a draft plan, so we give a blessing from the DEP, which we already got technically, but we want to show them the actual plans. So that's going to come up. I hope by next meeting we'll be able to report on that. And the fall cleanup is Saturday, and it started already. I was helping out with a couple of guys. We did a little work on the railroad line, and I'm in pain from bending over.
Did you?
But we got a lot of stuff up. There's a lot of dockage over by Asbury in the right by the high school field. A lot of small docks that washed away, and I asked the folks in the audience, in the public, if they lost a dock, it's probably over. If it's on the south side of the lake, it's probably sitting over in Asbury, and we're not. If it's in bad shape, we're going to get rid of it. If it's in decent shape, we're going to try to tie them up, and people can come and fetch them after the lake rises. So we'll try to put them, secure them on some kind of tree limb or something like that over in that area, so folks can come and get their dock. There's no reason they can't stay there as long as they're secured and they don't float down to the flume. I'm okay with that. So we'll do the best to salvage some things. I saw a nice bench along the railroad tracks, beautiful wooden bench. That's in great shape. That's going to be sitting over by the boat ramp on Saturday. If somebody wants to pick it up, they're more welcome to pick it up. I don't think we're going to throw that away. We're just going to leave it there for a while. And if anybody wants it, it's that nice. If you don't pick it up soon, it'll be gone. So it'll be over there. There's a lot of boats we've been putting on Facebook floating around the lake. So they'll be cleaned up, hopefully brought to the boat ramp area. And people I think people are claiming them as we put them up there. But the fall cleanup, we got Monmouth University coming from rain or shine. It'll be 9 o'clock at the boat ramp for general public, and then Monmouth U guys, we have yes, there you go.
Yeah.
Monmouth U we have directed to various different locations, including Sunset Lake. We have the area by the ocean. We have Allenhurst, And we have Interlaken, so, and a boat ramp area. So we're gonna have 4 or 5 teams from Monmouth University descending on us around 9:30, I believe. So that'll be fun. We'll get a lot done in a short period of time.
Hey,
Oh,
Don, please
Yeah.
make sure to get a pretty good, accurate head count. So, we need all of that for our in-kind service match.
Oh, yeah, we'll have that.
Okay.
We do a pretty good job. Jeannie's gonna be there for a while, checking people in, signing folks in. And we already have the Monmouth, I think we already have the Monmouth College head count. Do I have that? No, I don't have head counts yet. I have the points of contact and their phone numbers, so for the groups that are coming. So that's all good.
anybody else that's helping out, if I might remind you, I think everybody got those cards that has the QR code that takes people to our subscribe page. So bring those with you when you're circulating around, and just hand them out to people and ask them to subscribe so they can receive our newsletter.
Little cards like this.
Okay, and I'll be giving them out too at the cleanup, and we'll have a pile of them there for people to take.
Okay. That's it for old business. Did I miss anything for old business? Okay. New business.
Hey, John, just
Yeah.
one thing real quick. I do have some pictures that somebody sent me of the Ocean Grove rain garden
Oh,
working really well during the flood. Okay, you can actually see Wesley Lake had already exceeded its banks.
yeah.
And the rain garden is at capacity. So it was
Oh.
definitely working. And this is the one, this
Do you
is,
have you have them up now?
I'll send them to you later. It might be a little bit difficult for me to find them, but
Oh,
if
okay.
I find them while we're talking, I'll send them.
That's
I'll,
good to hear. Hey, the last time I went by, it looked like they hadn't they didn't cut it in a couple weeks, and the plants were growing back. So that
Yeah.
was
Good. That's
yeah,
good.
well,
Wesley Lake.
this particular person actually works for DEP. He was a speaker at the ANJAC symposium
Oh,
last Friday.
right.
He lives right there,
Lives
and
right
he
there.
actually said that he had to admonish someone because they were throwing their leaves and some of their garden waste into the rain garden. So he said, no, don't
Correct.
do that, and explained why. But he sent me pictures. I'll see if I can find them while we're still on.
Okay, thanks. We'll get him up there. Yeah, he's a good guy. He actually knows my son and some folks. They surf together, believe it or not. And yeah, nice guy.
At the last meeting, we talked about putting a sign over there, right? So that people would know that it's a rain garden.
That's my Wesley Lake Commission is handling that. They
are. Good.
They had it on their agenda, and I don't know if did we get them the copies of the pictures yet, Steve?
No, not yet. I got to do that.
Okay.
I had showed them last month. I gotta find those pictures again. But yeah,
Okay.
Yes Signs had done those signs previously, but apparently they can't find the master copy. But I do have I'll find that picture again.
Good. That might help.
Okay. Great. Where we going? September 29th. The
Yeah.
storm. So
Yeah,
know,
I'm on mute.
it took.
Don, can I just, it's Gail. Can I just tell you that Keith Fiore designed signs? that
Oh, great.
This
Okay.
is a rain garden, do not mow, and we'll put 2 signs up at each of the rain gardens. But Keith's been traveling, so it's a slow process, but it should be.
Oh, thank you,
complete.
Gail. Thank you. Gail's the chairman of the Wesley Lake Commission. Yeah. Needless to say, Gail and I have been distraught with the September 29th storm. It was overwhelming for almost all the lakes in the Jersey Shore, and a lot of rivers, streams, and streets. I mean, streets were rivers going to the lake. I literally saw Deal Lake rise up to over the bank into Deal Barco. I was just shocked. It was amazing. Probably a foot an hour, less than a foot an hour. We tried in the morning we knew some houses were going to be flooded. I personally tried to help a couple folks, and unfortunately we didn't put the tape high enough. It just it came up 4 feet in some of the houses, and a lot of people were hurt. A lot of people were injured in terms of property damage. I feel for them. Makes my heart bleed, let me tell you. But it was a very unusual storm. I'll be honest with you, I knew it was this is the first time as chairman since Sandy that we flooded residents, and I think we should feel good that we hadn't done it before, but it feels bad, let me tell you, that we did. And I think we've had very good control over the flume, and we tried our best all week to get that lake down. That was a battle all week with the amount of over 3.5 inches the week before, with 50-mile-an-hour winds and surge coming in. And we kept it coming, and we had to close the gates multiple times. Every 6 hours or 5 hours, we had to close those gates to slow the amount of water coming in from the ocean. But it was just brutal down by the beach. Our remote system worked. We got it down as best we could the night before, and unfortunately got hit with almost 6 inches of rain within a short period of time. 7 on that day alone on 29. We had 1.5 inches the day before. Plus, we had the full moon tide that day. So it was a combination of things. And to be honest, we had another contributing factor is the speed at which it fell. The water was upstream. It was a different type of storm, Sandy. It was a different type of storm than a 2005 storm. It was a unique standalone storm. But 7 inches of rain for one day, our big water basin could not handle it, and not many others couldn't either. West Lake was a prime example. That pipe that goes out can only release so much water. Our pipe was releasing water all day. Even during high tide, our water was going out because it was so high. It was higher than the ocean. But with that said, it doesn't feel any better that folks got flooded. Maybe some good things come out of it. We have better notification of folks that warn them that their flooding could occur in the next couple of hours. That's a thing we can work out. I'm working. Hold on. It's not the public session, sir. Just hold off. It's we're trying to work some things out with the OEMs, the emergency operation guys in the different towns, and see if we can come up better using the Nixle and Code Red and various other things to alert people that there's going to be a flood, because it was with that kind of rain, we knew it was coming up. It was no doubt it was coming up. So anyway,
Hey, Don.
we could do better.
Eric Hotelling here.
Oh, Eric. Hi, Eric.
Hi, Eric.
Hey, I got on a little bit late, sorry.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You talk about the rain, exceptional. I mean, I had a 5-gallon bucket in my driveway completely full of water from that storm. That's a lot of water. That's a lot of water.
And not only did people along the lake get injured, I mean, the floods, the storm, the groundwater came up dramatically. My church flooded, my basement flooded. I mean, I'm still sore literally from sucking up the water from the shop vac in my basement in my church. So it was everybody was hit by that, even up the Wayside, Neptune area. But it was a small area along the Jersey Shore that got hit really hard with it. 7-inch. Seagirt didn't get hit as hard. Wreck Pond didn't have as much flooding as any the other lakes near us. But most of our lakes did get pretty hit hard. But hopefully we get some lessons learned from this, and we can come up with at least an alert system that's better, because we're going to have more of these storms. To be honest, we all those storms that hit the Route 95 corridor in the last couple of months and hit North Jersey really bad, we just missed that. And that happened. It was those freak storms, and they went right through. And if they came through here, we would have been flooded also. So if we have storms of that magnitude, people are going to have to educate the folks along the lake that there's going to be a problem. We can't lower the lake in a matter of minutes. It took 3.5 days to lower the storm height, the storm total, the maximum height, which was almost 6.5 feet above the dam. It took 3.5 days to lower that lake. And that was with perfect conditions. There was no storm after that. The wind was west, and the water flowed out. But it took time. And if you were watching it and living it, some of you guys lived the floods. You know what I mean. So, but that's it. We'll talk more in the public session, I'm sure. Any of the commissioners have anything to say?
I just thought that, it might be a good thing to thank the Monmouth County, all of the departments that came to help us out after afterwards, just to acknowledge them.
Yeah, let me go over that, Jeannie. I called the Monmouth County Clean Communities, guys that help us with the cleanups. And I asked them, gee, we're going to have a lot of debris coming down. And this is a couple days after the storm. And they dropped off a dumpster. You'll see it down in Lock Arbor, in the street in Lock Arbor. And Asbury Park's been wonderful removing the debris. I had some friends that go down there that helped out lifting the logs up. And it's about half full, if not more than half full, of debris from the lake. And we're going to get more debris during the cleanup. There's some more logs down there. And then they also sent a team in with some prisoners that helped out, and they had chainsaw gang, and they took a 2-ton dock out over by over Winnemassa section. And that was definitely a floating hazard if we didn't get it out. And they went beyond the call of duty, going into the water to chainsaw this thing out and get out of the lake. So that was wonderful. So anyway, yeah, thanks, Jeannie, for reminding me of that. But that, people did exceptional work helping folks out, and people got back on their feet. Some of the businesses, Deal Lake Barco, they got flooded. They were open the next night. The deli in Lock Arbor opened up. They had little tiny water in the foyer, and the liquor store Joe was fine. He had no water at all. So but it was interesting because 2000 people said, oh, this was worse than Sandy. And I believe that. And anybody west of the railroad tracks mostly said, and a couple of people today said Sandy was worse. But because they were at the angle of the ocean coming in at them. But Sandy was a brute force storm. It was a wave of water coming in, plus the wind. Not a lot of rain. And the people that were in striking distance of that surge got hit. Lock Arbor got really murdered, and a lot of Asbury over there along the beach area. 2005 storm, it was a slow storm, 12 days of rain and wind. And that was different. It was a different type of storm. And it was similar to this one in terms of height in Lock Arbor, what I was told. But folks upstream thought this was much worse because the water stops. It doesn't flow real well past that railroad track. So not only do you have a problem at the flume, but when you have a heavy rain like that and it's all coming downhill, it has a backwater effect at the two railroad track openings. And that causes the folks upstream. And we marked some of if you saw the photos, we have marks on the building at Flume, and I have a mark on a couple of houses upstream. So, I'm hoping Peter's guys can add to their study these heights and see if there's any differences. I'm believing there's a 6-7 inch difference between west sections of the lake and the east section. But what's interesting, the Corps of Engineers went to Wesley Lake, met with Wesley Lake and Jason Shea. I know Jason Shea from dealing with the renovations of the Flume. And they have some opportunity. I invited him to the meeting today. He goes, well, I can't really help you and talk to you, but I can definitely suggest that you guys can apply for some kind of floodplain management study on Deal Lake. And Peter did that once with Princeton Hydro, I believe. And I'm thinking that we should get the Corps of Engineers in, because not only do we get them involved, we also get the politicians involved, the congressmen involved, senators involved, and maybe get additional funds for maybe additional pipe, maybe additional, stormwater management west of us on ShopRite, CD Mall, and we got Middlebrook Shopping Center, Middlebrook Apartments. So all those places need stormwater holding tanks or holding areas to keep the water away from the lake. I don't know if it would have helped on this storm because it was so massive, but I think a study would be great. I think it's free. We just have to be get in line and battle other folks for the right to get the study. It would take 2 or 3 years, maybe 4 years, but it can't hurt to ask, right? Also, we did a study in 2016, I think, 16, I think it was. And it was for a flood study of the lake, and it was a magnet. I'm trying to get it to Ken to post it on the website. It's a lengthy file. I'll get it to Ken somehow, but it really gives a snapshot of all the major storms up to Sandy, through Sandy. And I'm going to ask Peter and Princeton Hydro if they can update that for this storm. and it gives you really good data. I believe this storm was 3 times the amount of rain that we had in all those other storms, based on the data I saw.
Meeting is being recorded.
Steve,
Hey,
did you see the totals yet on the storm or not?
The unofficial total that I saw for the Deal Lake area was 9 inches of rainfall, but that's
That's
on
2
the
days.
fish.
That's 2 days.
But that's over a 2-day, right? That's
Yeah.
over a 2-day period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But one thing, first off, I in the chat, I did put in those photos of the basin,
Okay.
the Ocean Grove rain gardens, and then the rain garden signs.
Oh, thanks.
But just so everybody is aware, just last month, actually the month of August, DEP updated the flood hazard regulations and stormwater regulations to now require new development not to use, they can't, so typically when a new development comes in, they're using data, historical rainfall data, and some of that data is about 20 years old. Now what DEP is requiring to be done is projected rainfall data because of these massive, intense flood events that we're seeing, and the frequency that they're occurring is much more frequent than would be, determined if you look at that historic data. So the regulations were adopted and modified this past August that now requires, any new development doesn't help for the situations that we've had, but at least new development, they have to use projected rainfall intensities. So that, in itself is going to help mitigate some of that flooding over time. But, when you have something that exceeds the 500-year storm, it's difficult to manage for that. Because remember, our stormwater collection systems are really designed for the 20-year event, not the 100-year storm, not the 500-year storm. So they can easily become overwhelmed by these, these intense events.
Thanks, Steve. Thanks. Okay. Any other thing from the commissioners? Any other statements?
I'd like to
Yeah,
say
go
something.
ahead, Margaret.
Okay. First of all, I'm really sorry that I can't help at the lake cleanup, but I'll be conducting the Clean Ocean Action Beach Sweep in Lock Arbor and Allenhurst. So, also the bulkhead in Lock Arbor, it's mostly between the ocean and Ocean Avenue. We have contracted Burke Construction to fix it. One that's being by the man who drove into the lake is about $6,000 to fix. And we're trying to get the insurance to pay for it. And then the other one, which is from an unknown source, is almost $4,000 to fix.
Wow.
They're really small little areas too. I was surprised it was that much, but hopefully it'll be fixed in the next 2 months. And also, I just wanted to say that I think you should say something in the meeting about that the flume was open all those times, because apparently it went through on one of the emergency services that it was closed. I just thought maybe you should say it was open so that anybody who's listening and heard that rumor.
Yeah, the only time it was closed
would
was
be
high tides. That was it. Yeah.
Yes, I just wanted to dispel that rumor. That's all.
And having it open the whole time is actually worse.
I
Right.
learned how much people do not understand the flume, and of course I was directly affected at my home, and we are fine, and we have a lot of planning. My family has a lot of planning in place, which I would highly recommend to anybody to
That's
always
good.
be prepared.
That's good.
And thank you for all your help, Don. You helped me a lot those days. Thank you.
It wasn't fun for anybody. And Margot was literally
Thank you.
in the storm, in the floodplain. If you look at the floodplain, Margot's house is in it. So.
Oh, I know what else I wanted to say. I, at my house, measured the rain. I knew right away, I want to measure this. in my yard, in my backyard on Friday was 11.5 inches. And I'm very careful how I measured that rain.
Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Okay,
Thank you.
no problem, no problem. That's it for new business. Anybody else have new business?
I would like to, I'm going to shift gears for a minute away from the storm. But I was thinking that as we wind down 2023, I'd like the commission, the DLA commission, to set aside time for a workshop sometime in January of the new year. And this workshop would give us an opportunity to work together to establish the DLA commission goals for 2024. So we could do periodic checks to see where we are with meeting these goals as the year goes on. But I believe that any organization, any good organization sets annual goals that so everyone has.
Jeannie, let me do it a little bit differently.
Yeah.
Let me ask all the commissioners to send me a list of 5 goals they would like seeing, and I'll consolidate those and I'll present them at the January meeting. Okay. Let's do it that way. Because right now I'm so burnt out. I mean, I'm burnt, and I have little time. I had a wedding that we put on, and then the flood. So I am worn out. So I really don't want any more workshops. If we're going to do a workshop, I really would like to have a workshop on preparedness, on flood preparedness, and talking about flooding.
Right.
That I think would be go over a lot more better with the public. And this stuff of goals we can do internally. We don't have to have a big workshop on it.
It is in a workshop.
We can present it to the public. I mean, that's
I wasn't talking about a workshop for the public. I was talking about a workshop for the DLA commission, the commissioners to.
We can do it during a regular meeting. We can do that, Jeannie. That's not a problem. Let's send your 5 goals. Each person send what they would like to see, and send them to me. I'll consolidate them, and then we'll put them together. Okay.
And then what, you'll put them out to us in January?
Sure.
Is that how you're going to do it?
Yep. Yeah. That'd be fun.
Well, is everybody okay with doing it that way? Or do you feel like I do that? Oh, it would be helpful for us to do together as a commission to talk about our goals. I'm not going to be the one to say yes or no to that. I think it's a decision we all make.
We're still going to talk about it. I mean, it's just a different way to do it. So is everybody in agreement on sending 5 goals in to me? And
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, the goals are general anyway, so
yeah,
we'll get our goals, and then we can drill down on the specific ones that we want to focus on, and maybe have workshops in connection with those goals once we set them.
Correct.
But and we do talk about every meeting. So.
Right. And we do have we do have a master plan, by the way, on our website.
Right, I know that.
It has to be updated.
I know. I'm talking about annual goals. But, okay, I'm just making that suggestion. I think it would be a good thing for us to establish in 2020.
Right. Okay. We're going to move on. I'd like to open it up to the public right now. We can do that.
A motion to open the meeting to the public?
Moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Okay.
Okay. Anybody out there? Oh, yes. Melanie. Melanie, you're muted. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, unmute. Melanie, you're muted.
Now, can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Hi, Melanie Nolan, Lock Harbor. 2 things. One, Margot, I wanted to mention to you that there's a big piece out of the bulkhead down here too. 2 houses down from me, Harry Towles' house. Across from Harry Towles, there's a big gash in the. It's all broken there, the bulkhead. So I don't know if anybody noticed that. The other thing is, when you were talking about education for people, well, Margot and I knock ourselves out at every single meeting trying to talk about trees and holding on to them. And we finally did pass a tree ordinance, but I don't know how to, I don't know how much more we can do other than, you know, planting trees into people's yards or stopping them physically from cutting them down. But it's all over, and it's not just, you know, it's all over the place. They're just cutting them down. But one of the things I was thinking when you were talking about education to the public, maybe a little more education about how the flume actually works. It doesn't have to be super technical, but people don't seem to understand it. I don't know how it works, quite frankly. And people, you know, were carrying on. It wasn't open in time. And it should have been this and that. And I said, no, it was open because Don had sent out the thing that said it was open, you know, all week for the week before. And so maybe if we're talking about education, educating the public, it might be an idea to somehow a brief education on how it works.
That's a good idea.
And-
That's a great idea. You know what? Somebody also asked, maybe we should have an open house down at the Flume one day and just show them the mechanisms we have down there and how it works, and open up
That's a
it up
good
and show
idea.
them how the flow flows out.
That's a good idea. And
Yeah.
I do think this storm was very much like 2005. Watching it on that Friday morning around 11 o'clock when it just started like getting higher and higher and higher. That was when I moved my car, luckily. But I mean, it just was that same kind of storm, days and days of rain, and then a giant rain on Friday. So it was very similar to that one.
One thing with the public, I've been putting the announcements during the storm. I started putting everything on Facebook. The Twitter link wasn't working well, and be honest with you, it's not the best. So the Facebook link seems to work really well about what's open. But if you go by the Flume, there's green lights. If it's open, there's green lights shining, and you can actually see the lights from the bridge, from Norwood Bridge down. You can see them. If you're in one of the high rise, you can look down by the ocean and see the green light. It's a very bright LED green light.
But they don't know it, so you know what I
No,
mean.
I mean, it's
That's
just-
what that might be one of the things to
Yeah.
include in the education.
Congratulations, Margot and Melanie, for getting that tree ordinance passed. I know that was a long process.
Jana Manning.
Well,
There's a lot of
we just
I'm gonna
carried on
guys,
about
we're
it.
gonna move on. We're gonna move on. Jana,
Hey,
how you doing?
good. How are you guys doing?
Good. What's up?
All right. First, I want to say great meeting and great October newsletter. Thank you very much. It's outstanding. I wanted to also tell you I'll be at the cleanup, as I always am. And I wanted to also here on behalf of the Green Team from Asbury Park, and our missions are very aligned. And I just wanted to stay a little more in touch with you guys and maybe see that some of the things we do support your missions, and share with you some things that we're working on that I think really align with the stuff that that impacts our water quality and flooding. So one thing is that we've worked with the city council to get green infrastructure. We've been advocating for that, and so we've changed the way that the city decides what roads are going to have construction done to them or get redesigned. They never did include in their criteria what roads are flooding. So we collected from the DPW what roads are flooding and put it out on a map. We created this map from Z Maps and met with the city engineer, and it's officially become a part of the criteria now to decide which roads are going to have redesigns or road work done to them. So flooding now, stormwater issues is now part of the criteria to decide what roads are going to have road work done to them. So we think that was a great success. And the council also has decided that green infrastructure should be incorporated into all of our future road designs. We're going to start it. We've got one project that that has been identified that is going to begin getting designed in the near future, and green infrastructure is to be a part of it. And I wanted to ask about the Ocean Grove, Rain Garden, or any others, if there were any we got Rutgers involved in it. I'm a green stormwater, I forget, ambassador or whatever it's called. I took the program at Rutgers, and stormwater champion or something like that. So green infrastructure champion, that's it. So if there was anybody who participated in maximizing the sort of formal structure of the rain garden, I'd love to know who you turned to, because it's very new to our city engineer. I don't think it's certainly nothing that Asbury has asked for in the past.
Yeah.
And we could use, someone to be sure we're doing it the right way.
Well, just to
Well, I
mention,
mean,
Tom
the-
Polisky. Tom Polisky is excellent. Yeah, we helped him with the rain garden by the police station there, by the train station.
Train station.
And also we designed, I believe Steve designed, is that correct, Steve? The rain garden with Princeton Hydro in Ocean Grove, the two in Ocean Grove. So we have those plans.
Right. So, yeah, so all the green infrastructures, projects that have been conducted by the Deal Lake Commission, I mean, they've been done, with engineering design provided by both Princeton Hydro and Leon Esavakian. So, and we're following not only sort of like the standard procedures that are in the New Jersey BMP manual, but I work a lot with Chris Abrupta, from Rutgers. So, and he's sort of like the green infrastructure rain garden guru of New Jersey. But I know
He's my
Chris
teacher.
really well, and I've worked with him on numerous projects. So, and he's also been instrumental in doing some green infrastructure work for within the watershed itself. So, everything it does follow the DEP guidance, but it's all highly engineered, as you know, and using the right type of soil mixture, the right types of plant species.
I was just going to say, add on to that, what you were saying, Steve, in terms of the grant that you wrote, in that it also included education for the Department of Public Works people, so that they know once those, for instance, the floating islands were installed, floating wetlands in Sunset Lake were installed, and Wesley, so those people would know how to maintain them once the Deal Lake Commission stepped out of the picture.
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've had these breakfast seminars with DPW personnel, and Don and I have met with the superintendent over at William F. Larkin Golf Course, because we have two, bioinfiltration green infrastructure devices, at the golf course. So, as Jeannie points out, I mean, we try to do education in terms of how to maintain them correctly. Unfortunately, there's been a couple of little hiccups with the Ocean Grove ones, but
lawnmowers. So
yeah, but I mean, as was noted previously by Gail, that problem has been rectified, and we'll be putting up some signage just to remind people that it's a functioning stormwater feature.
Janet, I got to ask you, Janet, did you how'd you fare? I know you're right there by the lake.
Yeah.
I know where how'd you make out?
So to the east and the west of us, the roads were covered with water, and our intersection right at Norwood Avenue at the bridge, that intersection is elevated. So in front of our property, there was no water, but literally probably 50 feet to the left and right, there was water.
Did you witness the rise in the water? Did you witness that?
Yeah, we were here. We were watching.
Amazing.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. So I also wanted to say that the Green team in Asbury Park has formed a subcommittee called the Coastal Resilience Subcommittee, and wanted to invite everybody. It's supposed to be a very inclusive group. We hope to have representation from all different, areas of the city, and people with different priorities come and express their, the things that we should be safeguarding. And so our goal is to provide input and guidance that we've collected from everybody, provide that to the city leaders to ensure the most coastal resiliency that Asbury can have for everybody here and
Okay, thanks.
for the area.
Thank
All right,
you,
so
Jen.
in the chat, I'm going to put a link to our Zoom meeting. It's October 31st at noon. All right.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jenna.
Anybody else? Public? Okay, we're gonna move on. Hear a motion to close the public session?
Second?
Second.
Second?
Are there any other hands up? I thought. I
No,
saw-
it's over. It's over.
Okay.
No hands were up. I
Second.
think Eric, I think said second. Eric, did you say second?
Second.
I did.
Yeah.
Bruce?
Thank you.
Three of us told us,
Okay.
four, all of us.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? A motion to, are you,
Oh,
Any other-
any last word by a commissioner? I'm done. I said enough.
I just have one thing.
Go ahead.
I have one quick thing. There's bald eagles now at Joe Palea Park. They've
Wow.
taken over the old osprey nest. There's 2 of them there,
Okay,
and they're beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
very nice. Very nice.
And that's it. A motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make
So
the
moved.
motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I thank the public to coming, and I hope you got something out of this. It'll be online shortly, and thanks for coming. And I'll see you up Saturday at the cleanup, rain or shine. Rain or shine. And Jenna, if you want, you could work by your house. I got a group down there from Monmouth College. We could definitely use you by the flume at 9 o'clock. So I'll give you a call, okay?
Okay, I'll be there.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay, take care, everybody.